Hello, friends. So the three-point agenda we're going to talk about today is we'll look at one company and complete deep dive as fundamental analysis of the company. We'll do a technical analysis of the company, and I'll share with you some of the nuggets here, which will be very, very useful for you. And since I'm a practitioner, not just a coach, is that I want to tell you why I have taken the position, complete thesis, antithesis, and about this company as a technical fundamental so that you can get benefited from my research. And again, this is only for education purposes, and this company definitely is not for the weak hearted, because this company is a small cap company and has a lot of potential. But again, when you take a risk, you also have the opportunity. Big risk means big gain, and also opportunity losing capital. Again, this is my views can be biased because I have a position in this talk. Lot to cover in this particular video. Please look at the disclaimer before proceeding further, and let's get started. So the company we're going to talk about, the fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and why I'm doing is called Jain Irrigation, and why I think this company is at the cusp of it. We'll try to look at it, and again, a lot of times the news do come out, and in this case, there was a news for this company of some of the mergers as well happening in the company. But I think there's lots happening. Whenever there's some corporate action happen like that, it's worth to look at the company in detail and see what's changing. And as your name itself says, the Jain irrigation is mainly focused on farming industry. So I'm going to cover some of the parameters. So again, in terms of my idea is not to cover in some of the financials as such, which has happened. Again, financial looking amazing, and stock price also is reflecting that they have reduced their debts. They have increased the PAT margin by 250%, and EBITDA has increased, revenue has increased, and most importantly, when you look at it, some of the pointers which company has given is their credit rating is BB triple B minus from CRISIL and ICRA as well, so which is good. And overall interest outgo is this, so they're kind of expecting some more interest because of the impact of non-cash. So please make sure that you make a note of that. And what is important here is there's some structural positive changes happening because of the merger deal which has happened for their international team. So you can go through some of the recent news, because more importantly, to understand what is the different divisions the company has. They have a high tech division which has grown by 26%, plastic division which has gone by 56%, where they have different, and especially Jal Jeevan Mission, which is a part of the this government plan, because the stock is listed in India. So they have some tailwind in terms of government spending happening as well, and they have some healthy order book available. And what is important is to look at it. What is this company all about? So they have, it is mainly a integrated model they provide to the farmer, right from the climate, water, manpower, soil, and this is kind of an unique solution they offer to the farmer. So that relates to the theme which government has, more crop per drop, and this is where it is. And especially when the times where the water has become a scarce resource altogether, and that's where it is very, very important to have some kind of automation in farming and smart farming, which is where the company is working. And that is where you can look at the drip irrigation, which is being pioneered by this company as well. Again, this is for you to consume. You can take a screenshot of this and go through that. But this is where they kind of focus on. And important here is to look at how does drip irrigation looks like. This is their total system, right? So if you look at it in a particular farm, they go all the way. These are different products they provide, and this is the irrigation with drip irrigation setup which the company is providing to the farmers. And the government has a lot of thirst in this particular segment as well, to meet their own agenda in terms of more crop per drop and farming as a theme. And globally also, if you see, there is a growth in this particular thing because the market will be accelerating, growing at the CAGR of 13%. That's one of the reports which has done for the micro irrigation, because this is where the company is currently focusing. And what's happening is it's a fragmented industry. There are a few players. So now this is going to bigger players like Jain Irrigation and other leaders in the market, which I'll start doing more research. And there will be a growth projected specifically on this particular segment by 13%. So you have to stick to the leaders and see whether they can grab the market share specifically in this particular domain. Now, if I go to the BSc website and look at some of the results which has been company has been posting, right, and let's look at the annual trend. So annual trend is clearly from 19 they had a good year, and then they had a bad years in terms of last 2 years, and now they've started growing heavily, especially into 2000. I'm looking at annual trend in crores, and which is 2023 they had a revenue, and as well as they were able operating margin is net profit margin is very thin they're working with, which is a concern, but looks like they're going to improve. We have to see what's the trend will look like coming forward. Operating margin is still not great, so that's something you have to look at it. What is going on is that the company has gone from negative profit margin and to positive, which is a healthy sign. And so that's one of the things which I want to bring you. And another thing which is also for you to look at it, the disclosures. So the owners have a pledging in this particular stock, so which is something you have to make a note of it. That's why I said it is not for weak-hearted. When they are pledging, that means if the business model is so sound, why they have to pledge? Obviously, this might be because of the capital requirements, which they have and they're not able to get the loan, or there could be other reasons for you to further research on. But the pledging is there for the company from the company promoter, which is something you have to make a note of. Now, if I look at the, let's go back. So going back to the financials, let's look at the quarterly trend so that we can understand what's going on, because annual trends are bit late indicator. Quarterly trend tells you what's going on. So if you look at the quarterly trends, March year they had net profit margin of 36%, and now, which let me get my highlighter so that you get to see. So you focus on here. So the net profit margin is 2.97, and in March they had 36.11, which was a huge healthy margin. And revenue trend is also looking healthy in terms of this was the entire year. So you look at the revenue trend is moving up, which is great. And net profit margin also has come from negative, they've gone into positive territory. So this is also a good sign. So that's about the quarterly trend. And let's go into some of the technical side of it. But before that, if you are more interested to study this company, what I can suggest you is there's one amazing report. You can make a note of this screenshot and go to this particular URL, and impact of Jain irrigation agri business model on environment. This is by a report by Dilip N. Kulkarni, and it's amazing report why Jain irrigation is actually one of the model which they're running is a socially responsible model for environmental conscious, which is where, so their mission is they leave the world better, leave this world better than you found it, which is their kind of a motion, which is their kind of an coined, which is late 70s mission statement which they have, and which is what they're trying to live with, and they have some good agriculture practices. And so this is their business focuses on sustainable agriculture, water usage, which is also kind of a theme on terms of renewable energy. And if I go to their website, which is also interesting, you should look at it. Let's go back to their website and look at some of the products, right? So So these are some of the products of the company: drip irrigation, micro mini sprinklers, sprinkler irrigation, filter dosage, which I shared with you. What is their overall, you know, landscape look like in terms of the drip irrigation? So they provide all the pipes. So they come under PVC segment, and they also have green product, energy products for solar and all. So they have end-to-end solution, and they started venturing into food processing, spice processing, and dehydrated products, and IQA products. So this is and they do turnkey projects specifically. So this is the kind of and business products which they offer. And now let's look at what's happening and what made me interested about this company as a whole. All right. So this is a technical chart of the company. Okay, and let's first go. into the monthly chart. So I start with the monthly chart because that gives me a very big and clear picture what the trend is. So that's why I said this company is not for the weak hearted, because of very reason you can see it's completely cyclical. After having the rally of like 39,000 and three so 3,942%, it has completely came crashing, and now stock is at 42 rupees 20 paisa as I speak. And stock has already given multi-bagger returns from the low of 3.3 rupees all the way to 1,400% before coming down 50%. Now it's again trending up. So why it came on my radar is for this particular reason. So after this downfall, and this is again a monthly chart, when I'm recording, so make a note of it. I'm recording in July 2023, late July. So the stock went completely down, and after that it went up, and now it's going sideways. So what is important for me to look at it when I look at any particular stock is two things. One, it has formed a base here and it went up, but the next low is higher. So this is higher than this low, so which is a good sign. That means, and plus the volumes are kind of completely very low at the moment, which I would see, as the time process, I will look at it whether there's an increase in volume happening. So, but what is important is the stock has gone up. So the if you look at the what is the stock has gone up from last 4 months, 1, 2, 3, almost 5 months. Stock is up 63%. So there has been some big buying force, as you can see when I zoom in, and which is kind of a good sign. And if you look at it from here, there's a lot of more green candles. You can see the volume bars than the red ones, and except barring this one where there was a big sell-off. Again, because there's a lot of overhang on the left-hand side, every time the stock will try to move up, there'll be a selling coming through, which is expected. But the important part is the stock has kind of trying to look at to go up this particular line, trend line, which if it manages to do that, will be kind of a change of trend altogether, which I see that coming day. So if you go back to weekly chart, which will have much more clarity, is if you look at it here, what's happening from last, and this is now weekly chart, every time stock is going down and then it reversed here and it's spending good time here, and this is where I thought it will be a good position to enter, because this is kind of an uh, low cheat area as per Mark Manevering, and it is where you're trying to see if based on this volume build up here happening, can this stock manage to go above in the trend line, which is what I am kind of hoping to happen. And that's why I've taken position on this. At the end, I will share with you some of my thesis point as well, but I'm just sharing what I am looking at it, and how I kind of analyze it. And then I go back. I don't go beyond the weekly, or like my whole process of peaceful weekend investing is only to look at weekly chart and monthly chart and go about it. But at some point, the stocks like these, we end up looking at the daily chart as well, just to see what's going on, right? Because that way at least I'll get to make sure I can take faster decision to exit, because to protect my capital if it start moving downwards. But what gives me a comfort is there is some kind of buying happening, and you can see the stock has been in sideways for several trading sessions, and now today as we speak it is trying to go above this line, which is what I'm hoping to happen. And time will tell whether the follow-up buying will come or not, but that's something we can't predict the future. All I can do is at this point is focus on my process, and that's what I'm trying to share with you here. So hope so far you are enjoying the video and you're getting a lot of value. Do hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell if you haven't done that, because when I see most of the viewers are just watching it without subscribing, which is it doesn't cost a thing for you if you subscribe it and you get notified, because I'm trying to help you in your investing journey. And also it also helps your channel to grow as well, and reach to like-minded people who want to become a peaceful weekend investors while they are busy doing their day jobs. So this is a kind of an reason why I share all of this here in this platform openly, And again, I'm a practitioner, I'm not just a coach itself. I'm trying to take the position and also tell you why I'm taking the position, so that it is much easier for you to know that it is not a theory, it is a practice which I'm doing. Again, position sizing is the key, because such stocks you have to be very very careful in terms of position sizing, because this is not a long term stock. And that's why I said at the start of this, it is not for the weak hearted, because you can see how the stock is dancing during the um, trading days, and it can have a good fall very quickly, swiftly, and you can see the stock went down 20% straight away. So it is having a lot of volatility, which you have to keep in mind. So if you keep small stops in this particular company, chances are that you will get stopped out if you don't have the right entry. But when it start moving up, it also moves in a same fashion. That's why it is a stock which can give you quick gains. And I can take some part of my capital as a risk capital, and that's why I kind of take that position. But most importantly, it is aligned with the government theme, which is important. Now let's go into quickly. I don't want to make this video too long, and people's patience have gone down after the YouTube shorts. So let's go back to and why I think my thesis is. And so as what we have seen as part of this whole video, to sum up, and my thesis, it's a leading multinational company in irrigation and agro processing. It has seen explosive growth from the price wise. We have seen that as well in past as well, and now also 60% up. And there's a global demand for irrigation has gone up. As we said, there's a CAGR growth as a report which I cited. And so there is a demand internally within India as well as globally. And given that I've spent a lot of time in Africa, I can tell you that if companies venturing in those regions, there is a lot of demand as well. And there's a wide range of products they're offering. So they have they have bouquet of products, which is great, and also they're venturing into some kind of processing as well, which is kind of optionality. We will see what it plays out. But right now, their maximum revenue comes from the plastic division, which is what their 50% and above the plastic division is done. And so they have some revenue and profit growth, which is shown, which is again based on sustainable theme, which is one of the main theme for this particular time. So I think we have to wait and watch how this company can, benefit from that overall theme, and rising demand for the sustainable agriculture, and especially the government here in India also pushing for that, and which is and giving a lot of schemes that will help this company as a whole. But sometimes when you have kind of dependency on government, so you have more working capital. So keep that in mind. That's a kind of antithesis. I think future prospects looking good in terms of expansion plans and innovation focus for this company, and see how it comes out and keep tracking on it. Again, my intention is not to keep this company for long term anyway. So I will, as my thesis playing out, if good news started coming in, then there'll be reflection in the price, which is what I'm more looking at from the price action point of view. And overall, we'll see there's a positive sentiments already based on the merger news, and let's see what is the returns it can generate. And I'm keeping with the very small stop loss. I've taken a position, again clear disclaimer, no buy and sell recommendation. I'm just kind of uh, sharing my thesis, and whether it's going to be long term investment potential, I don't think so. That's my current thesis, and I have no intention to keep it for long term. But I'm sharing with you, and please do write down in comment box below what was your key learning, what did you learn out of it, and what do you have any more information about Jain irrigation which I can benefit. I'm more than happy to hear from you as well. Till the next video, I will say goodbye and have a peaceful weekend investing. Bye bye.